Hello, everybody. Everybody. What's cracking? What's happening? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Guys, girls, everybody. The future. Let me get my tablet. But sometimes you gotta use your logic. I have many thoughts and theories on how to describe this video, but sometimes it's all about logic, guys. It is. It sure is. I am so confused on this world because I'm all like, how come people don't use their brains and use logic? Sometimes things are even freaking simple things that can set me off to be like, bro, all that's logic. How do you not know that? Nobody teaches me to do things all of the time. Sometimes I use logistics. I use my logistics and I think about it, I process it, and then I'm like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. And this is what the world doesn't have these days. A lot of the times is logic. It's not that hard. It's not all about paying attention in school. Sometimes, yes, we do have to pay attention, but it's not all about that. There's the school in general is hard to even get up to go to sometimes with humans and kids. By the way, guys, I do have that light on. The sun has set it. It's only 5:37. But people don't use their brains. People don't use logic anymore. And I say that for different terms, many terms. You know, when I went to school, I went to, well, I had fair enough teachers in elementary school. And the teachers basically, they had a board and my grandma was trying to say something about this, but there was a board and it says, mad, happy, angry. Which are you today? Mad, happy, and angry. And you circle it. Sometimes some students would be like, I'm this emotion today, or I feel like this today. Today they were talking about emotions at school. And my grandma was like, how come they're talking about emotions at school? That kids are getting anxiety and stuff. I said, that's a part of being an actual human. We have emotions. And nobody has talked about any of this until 2023. It has been around for years. And people don't pay attention too much about these things. Their kid goes to school. What are you, happy, mad, sad, angry, depressed? You don't want to say, oh, depressed, because then they'll figure out, oh, depression is this, depression is that. That's why a lot of us people are misdiagnosing things. Human nature, humankind has misdiagnosed everything. People say they have OCD. In reality, they don't have OCD. You're claiming you got a little bit of OCD, but not a lot of it, because some people's brains are all over the place. I got a lot of spam calls. So, it's all logical. What does a human being have? I don't know why this is so new to a lot of people. And in school, they were saying that, and on the news, they said one kid, she uses mental health to get away from school because she feels so overwhelmed in school. A lot of us did. A lot of people felt overwhelmed in school to make a good grade, to attend a class, to like your classmates. Maybe don't dislike your teachers. Maybe your teacher's boring. You know, kids of the future are learning more about all this human nature stuff than us humans out in the real world. They're providing kids with emotions and feelings when emotions and feelings have been constantly everywhere. It's, again, it's all logic. Learning how to drive is not, of course, logic sometimes. Sometimes you do have to put in effort to turn the steering wheel. And one thing that gets me sometimes, it's like, you were never once a kid that was curious on how things work. Like, sometimes I get confused because I've always torn stuff down and try to figure out how it works. Maybe I won't be able to put it back, but I wanted to know how it works. How does it look like inside? You know, I'll do my personal experiments there. And again, you know, I still don't understand. Sometimes they're like, oh, okay, you could tell a Chinese person, you know, turn your wheel to the right. They will put the car and drive and turn their wheel to the right because they have no logic that how a car works. So they're over here thinking the steering wheel only turns if you're in your drive. No, the steering wheel doesn't turn because they don't know how a rack and pinion is. They don't even know what a rack and pinion is. They don't know what tie rods are. They don't know all that because why? They never chose to study that and to have logic. Oh, how does a steering wheel turn? Like, what makes a steering wheel turn without being in park and drive? Sometimes, again, it's a lot of logic. Sometimes, you know, I tell people all the time, I said, is your car SE, LE? You know, what kind of vehicle is it? I told them it's in the trunk, in the back of the trunk. Sometimes. Some vehicles do have, you know, the little itty bitty side logo. And sometimes they don't even know about what SELE means. Obviously, they're not into cars. It's not. It doesn't. It's okay. It's okay. It's a flex when you do know what SELE is for a freaking car. It's a flex. But, however, I told one customer, I said, it's in the back of your car. And then he's like, oh, okay. I looked in the owner's manual. I didn't see it. I said, sir, I just told you it's in the back. I said, come here. We're going to go outside. We're going to see what your car is. Well, I don't find it anywhere. Are we not looking, sir? Like, And so I said, look, it's logical. I literally said it's in the back of the car. How do you not see it? We go out there. LE. It's a LE. There's your logo right here. Toyota logo. And right here on the little side is the LE. Do not use your senses to see why is your car a Toyota LE. Like, what does LE stand for? Like, I still don't understand it to this day. And again, it's all about logic. You know, if we figure out ourselves, we figure out the world, we will be a better person. I don't know how hard it is. A lot of people say the same thing about me. They're like, oh, well, you work smarter, not harder. I said, man, ever since I heard that stupid slang, I was like, no, I think outside the box. My term for that is thinking outside the box. I find a way to do it differently. It could be upside down. I could be doing something on sideways, you know. I find a way to do it differently. That's not being smarter or harder or worker or whatever you want to call it. I find a way to do things differently. Not everybody knows how to, and this might be a video for another day, but not everybody knows how to put, how do I put this, a mop bucket. So when I first was training back at SPCA, I told one volunteer, I said, go get the mop bucket and we're going to clean up this little area. And she did not know what a mop bucket was. Now, how are you going to tell me in school you got janitors left and right and you don't know what they're carrying around? Sometimes they carry around mop buckets right on their side hip. And they're walking around cleaning the bathrooms. And you're telling me that that person doesn't know what a mop bucket looks like? When it's all logic. Like, people are so, sometimes this is what they call book smart, street stupid. Because a lot of people are stupid. They cannot use logic that goes behind it. And so I said, okay, well, first of all, since I know that you don't know how to identify a mop bucket, let me show you how to use a mop. I had a trigger, the same trigger a while back, just 2 days ago. Well, it feels like 2 days ago. Where I told this kid that works for me, I said, go put a new mop head on the actual mop itself. I put the mop head over here. Just put it on the mop head and then just clean around this area. Bro didn't even know how to put on a mop. I know there is so many various mop heads and stuff. We're talking about mop heads over here. I know there's so many various ones, but if you give a toddler a little cube to put the square in the squares, the circle in the circles, they'll try to figure it out. Why these days sometimes some kids don't want to figure it out. They just want to hand it to them. Oh, I don't know how to put it on, so I didn't do it. I said, well, you could have asked, first of all, and I could have showed you. Because I was assuming you knew how to do it, because you've been working here for X amount of, anyways. But yeah, it's all logical sometimes. It's all logical. If the fire is there, and what do? You think, oh, water is going to put out the fire. If you not have education and pay attention in school, or not even in school, but in real life, that water and fire over, if it's a pantry, if it's a pan or whatever's on fire, don't just throw water on it. You know, you use a blanket, use something to put it out. And some people are like, isn't that going to catch on fire? Isn't the blanket like... Sometimes I wish they would really do teach this stuff in school. I'm sick and tired of dumb people in this world. Don't think outside the box. They don't use logic. They don't use anything in their source of brain. If you tell somebody there's a penny on the floor, heads and tails, what does heads and tails mean? I don't know. What does that mean? Maybe they never knew what heads and tails is. They're like, it's a penny. Well, first of all, the guy is saying heads and tails, but you don't see a tail. So you're over here trying to be realistic. You're like, I see a head, but I don't see no tail. What does that mean? Again, make the world make sense. I feel like I should make another video of making sense in this world. People don't use logic anymore. I'm the smart one around here, obviously, that uses logic on a lot of things. And I'm not talking about ghost logic or noise crackling logic. I love ghosts. Ghosts are so real to me. Ghosts are amazing. So we're not talking about use logic behind noises. No, I'm not talking about that. Don't try to cover up little details and stuff. So we are going to be here. Well, actually, we're at our 15-minute mark already. So I'm already back to 15 minutes marks. We will see what the future has. We're going to continue doing 15 minutes. I'm already done with the other 15. Other 15, y'all go through my channel and check it out. But it's not all about paying attention. It's more about logic. Use your logic. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.